All right, a bit confusing this one. Took yesterday off, but we have YM SMT at the lows, and we did get a shorter time frame one here on Russell, and then now we've got it's been taken out, but the higher time frame one is still in play. So kind of a tricky price action. Guess that's a lot bigger of a range than I'm looking at. We came down, tapped that order block on Monday, which was a long idea, and then chopped around here, took out this low here, but held SMT. So to me, this could be being a long idea already happening here. Maybe we could wait until we tap this order block. But that's just the Russell. I think that's what might actually be in play there. But yeah, anyways, trying to figure out what's going on here. So Russell's got that SMT, YM with YM. YM has also done it with everybody else except maybe ES, which is kind of weird that NASDAQ and Russell would be getting the SMTs. But this low came in at, see here, oh, there's 091. That's a new low there. Wow, this is a new low on ES. 42,091. Wow, so yeah, that is a SMT there. I didn't even see that. So that was an easy long there on NASDAQ. Also on Monday, swing trading it in the Asian opening long. And so it makes sense that NASDAQ's stronger here. So we would expect NASDAQ to be the one to break these highs and give a possible short setup. So if you're going to be looking short, and I think we are still in the cards for a short, but the problem is this SMT though. That's a pretty significant, I mean, that one is not as obvious, but this one is. So taking out this high, I would totally expect us to take this high out. Um, so what might be actually happening here is YM is gonna probably catch some juice because we've been stronger here to here versus everybody else. Or not really, but from here, here, higher lows. Yeah, it seems like short term it could be bullish. Thing though is NASDAQ has taken this high, whereas ES has not. But there's already SMT there. But now there's reason for it to manipulate just one more time. So but yeah, there is a 4-hour fair value gap here. For our fair value gap, YM's rebalanced its fair value gap, but there is also one up there in the same area. And then relative equal highs on these guys. With a market structure shift here on NASDAQ. So there has been market structure shifts here. Just quickly looking at the VIX. So VIX took out those relative equal highs into that gap. It's filled the gap. And now it's still holding that gap up. And it's created some sort of, range above this to take out, possibly. So yeah, we have the SMTs here at the lows. We're delivering higher. We're displacing higher. But there is some bearish flow to give reason for a short. Seems like YM and Russell are respecting bullish price action. And YM has not had the move that it should get. So my idea was that, yeah, we could trade somewhere into an order block, this order block or something, the CE of this one or whatever. And it did, and immediately bounced, and my target would have been above these relative equal lows, previous relative equal lows, but then also into this fair value gap also, which was the PM high. And it totally, that's exactly where it delivered, and then it sold off. And now you can see it's just rebalanced that. Some sort of breaker here being respected after a shift. But some sort of volatile move down into this order block would be a perfect entry long. Really to good risk reward up into this 4 hour. So I think I like that as a good play. Hard part is the flow is just not super clear. The calls were totally being sold on nets. And the tide was following price. But the other thing though is the puts were they were pretty flat. They were negative. They got bought back until noon and then they got sold back down to, so I guess that's pretty bearish, but or sorry, that's pretty bullish, but it's flat, which makes me think that it's not super bullish. Russell put this little bottom in here at 830, which is perfect. Seems like that's the area, or a high probability long right there, because you could technically see this is the order block here. So it might already be gone. Yeah, very bearish call flow on buy nets with puts on top. So that's pretty obviously bearish. And QQQ puts were actually way up all day with calls on bottom, especially at the close. They actually sold the calls, but that kind of just no, yeah, they're taking profits up there. So there is a weird long bias here in Russell, which makes sense because if we pull back, especially in ES, yeah, kind of a risky play. I think we go higher and then we go lower. So how would we trade this? Well, YM is obviously weak. We'd want to see YM inside of this order block, as well as Russell filling this gap, as well as NASDAQ sweeping these highs, and then an SMT that's already here on the higher time frame. Once we take this high out on NASDAQ and a smaller time frame SMT as well. We've got these areas already marked out. We'll mark. Yeah, I think these are already good to go. Maybe we'll mark that on Russell. Yeah, this order block's pretty clean. We wouldn't want it to really break that. So yeah, I think this is going to go up. I think that is a trade that I think you kind of dismissed. But yeah, it's all right. Maybe we'll get another entry on the higher time frame. Yeah, so we're looking for a short. Don't know if NASDAQ will take this high out too. But at least this high. It's likely we could take this high as well though. And then yeah, get short on ES. I'd actually want to short NASDAQ still though. So hopefully we do crack this high because then you can just sell that area. There's a little SMT order block there right in there. As long as we take this high out, yeah. Change that to 1. Super clear. We do have, so I mean it looks like on the futures that this could be the bottom, but then the problem is on the, at least not on ES though, but on SPY and SPY we just have relative equal lows still. Dow Jones just relative equal lows. Russell's the only one that looks like a bottom is really in, at least on the ticker. SPX relative equal lows with a gap. Like everything has really clear downside liquidity. NASDAQ, not really though. So that's also interesting. So yeah, seems like right now at least there's a long setup there on Russell. We got bearish flows, so I'll be quick to get out once things are getting taken if Russell offers a trade. But yeah, I would want Russell lower on the smaller time frame. Probably would trade real Russell contracts too. So yeah, we'll wait for the open on Russell long, and then yeah, seems like there's a clear plan now. All right, yeah, that is it. Look for shorts on Nasdaq still. Look for longs on Russell. The only one that's kind of a wild card is the Dow Jones. I'm thinking that the way to play it is to look for the weakness. So yeah, I think I'm right about this order block being significant once we reach and dig into that. I'm hoping that we can get a reaction in something soon. Because once we dig up into that, probably gonna reverse. Probably 500s level. So swap the 500s back right back into the fives. But yeah, all right, yeah, that's the plan.